I'm Greg Colvin. I'm independent right now. For about a year and a half, I was working on the EVM, the C++ EVM for the foundation.
For the Ethereum Foundation?
Yeah, they were paying me. Actually paying me money.
Great.
Lunar brought me on as an advisor. It's funny how traditions have formed almost immediately in this community.
Yeah.
So if you want to have an ICO, you bring on a few advisors with some prominence in the community.
Right.
I've actually done some advising because I have actually a lot of experience in full text retrieval.
Oh, good.
And that was important to them. And so that was useful.
And you presented today at EthCC. Can you tell us about your talk?
Well, I didn't so much give a talk. I just tried to bring people together. It's a bit whimsical, Fellowship of Ethereum Magicians, but it was more fun than engineers or technologists. Maybe we'd be taken more seriously. However, I think we brought in more people just because it was a little more
fun.
Yeah, who's that?
Nice.
And there's the old quote from Arthur C. Clarke that said, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic."
Absolutely, especially to the unenlightened.
Yes. even to the enlightened.
Okay. So everyone doesn't have to be intimidated that they don't understand blockchain.
I understand maybe 1% of it.
Yeah. It's humbling, isn't it?
It could be, yes. At this point in my career, I realized that the whole thing, there's blockchain. Blockchain is just really one internet protocol. I don't really understand all of TCP/IP. I don't understand. My ignorance is profound.
Yeah.
And then it's just a little piece of computer science was just a little piece of mathematics, plus hardware and the physics of that, the electronics of it.
Yeah.
You just at some point realize, there's some geniuses maybe who have an understanding of a lot of it.
Right.
If there's something I need to learn, I can usually learn it. And otherwise, I just accept.
You stay to your space.
I just accept that I will be ignorant of those things.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. We're just focusing at Chronologic on time-based problems for Ethereum. We try to find developers who are interested in solving those problems, and we just focus there.
So what do you mean by time-based problems?
Well, the blockchain wasn't really designed to consider time, and there was no way to schedule transactions for the future until the Ethereum alarm clock that Piper Miriam started. Okay. So we're partnering with him to solve that problem.
Okay. So I get to interview you.
Yeah, you could.
What is the Ethereum alarm clock? How's it work?
Well, as far as how it works, I'm probably not the best person to tell you because I'm not a developer, but I will tell you that we have time nodes that are incentivized to execute the transaction on time. So those are kind of like pseudo miners. So there's a gas amount that's an incentive, a bounty.
And what, an oracle to tell it what time it is?
Well, the end user schedules, they input the time, the time zone and everything. But as far as the technical side, I'm not the best person to explain it. But we'd love to talk to you more about it with the whole team. Okay.
Well, that'll wait. This morning's meeting was just, an initial starting to get organized and talking about the concept of consensus as opposed to voting or unanimous agreement. And the very important distinction between disagreeing with something and actually blocking consensus.
Right. So exploring the whole decision-making process. Well, it's an honor to talk to you because you're very highly regarded in the community, and I appreciate that you're trying to make the community, more democratic, or at least more
Yeah.
community.
A
oriented.
community, yeah. I mean, I've been here 2 years, and I have never met most of the developers,
Right.
other than my own, my own team.
Yeah.
But the example I started with for consensus was my first exposure to it was, I think, about 1985. I joined my first direct action against the nuclear power plant, nuclear weapons, Rocky Flats nuclear weapons plant, which is close to Boulder, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And there were hundreds of people getting organized to do that.
And now we can use blockchain technology to try to democratize, or at least get different voices.
No, the opposite. Not that at all. When we start talking about consensus, lots of people in the community start thinking about fancy voting schemes.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
No, votes don't matter so much on technical stuff.
Okay.
If you don't understand, your alarm clock thing.
Right.
2,000 people can vote against it, but if they don't understand it, their vote isn't really that relevant.
Okay.
It's only the people who actually understand it.
Right.
If you have no understanding of Casper, your opinion is interesting.
But the blockchain could validate that someone understands something before they vote on it, maybe?
No, we're human beings. We are human beings, and I felt a need for people to actually meet together.
In person?
In person.
What a novel idea.
Yes, and create the human relationships that allow you to work together as persons.
Well, thank you for being a leader and for connecting with others in person.
Mm-hmm. I'm really just trying to give it a kick in the right direction and stand back.
Great.
Partly because nobody's paying me to do it, and I can't really commit to it long term. I don't know that I'll have the resources, right now. As I said, I'm an E-thousandaire, and I'm living on those thousands, and I can't do that for very long.
Right.
And if I take on a full-time startup job, I'll have very little time to do anything.
Well, thank you for taking the time for speaking today.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.